Welcome back, folks, to the latest edition of Notre Dame Daily. I'm your host, Pete Mulroy, and I had mentioned yesterday that the baseball team has been flying high the last month or so, really when you go back to April 14th, April 15th, winners of 10 of 12. After what the baseball squad did yesterday in South Bend against Bowling Green, we can now up those numbers to 11 wins over the past 13 contests, 10-0. They ended after 7 due to the mercy rule, which you don't see all that often in college baseball, but does exist. So this is another example of this Notre Dame baseball team who Friday was led by the likes of Carson Tinney, who we mentioned yesterday, continues to play hot ball, Davis Johnson, starting center fielder DM Jefferson. Those three combined for 7 of the 11 hits. Johnson drives in another 3 runs. Right fielder Brady Gumpf getting involved with 3 RBIs of his own. It all adds up to a 10-0 win. And more importantly, this is the type of baseball you want to be playing. The brand of baseball you want to be showcasing coming down the final stretch of the season. Notre Dame's going to wrap this thing with a 3-game set in Coral Gables against Miami in a few days. And then it's into the ACC tournament. Now, you continue to play the type of baseball that ND has been playing. Good things are going to happen. Sean Stifler and company continue to press all the right buttons. And when it's offense, it's defense. You have that perfect mesh between the two, which all adds up to W's. And that's what you want this time of the season. And that's what Notre Dame has been getting. It's going to be fun to keep an eye on this. They're going to be honoring 14 seniors and another 3 managers that will be graduating this weekend against Bowling Green. Those players and managers will receive their grad and undergrad degrees respectively. So it's going to be a nice weekend to be on campus. And when you got a baseball team playing this way, it's going to be must-see live action. Just switching quickly into the basketball world, and big news coming out of Micah Shrewsbury's corner as he goes out and gets a new director of men's basketball strength and conditioning, John Sanderson. Well-traveled, well-respected, highly tenured guy comes on board at a real time of need because, well, year 1 of Micah Shrewsbury's tenure down the stretch showed some great signs. Year 2, I think it was kind of a backstep, right? We were almost backtracking a little bit. And while the talent is there and the coachability is there, year 3, the expectations are going to be huge. And when you bring in a guy like Sanderson who can really elevate what you're getting out of the players on the current roster, and then the ones like Jalen Harrelson who will be coming in as part of a highly touted Notre Dame recruiting class, you want to see that proof in the pudding. And a guy like Sanderson can do that quickly from a developmental standpoint. That's why he's here. I mean, this is a guy who played in a Final Four in 1999 when he was a forward on the Ohio State Buckeye squad, and then coached in 2 Final Fours in 13 and 18 with the Michigan's men's basketball program. So he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. That's why he was highly coveted, and Notre Dame was able to steamroll some of the competition to go out and get this guy. So Sanderson coming on board at a time of need where Notre Dame is trying to elevate its program, where specifically in the wins and losses column to try to make some noise in the ACCs, going out and getting a coach of this magnitude in an area like strength and condition, which you cannot put a price on, is a huge deal and a huge W for Coach Shrews and company. You talk about recruiting in basketball, and we know that Micah Shrewsbury's done a great job there with a top 5 class coming in next year. The same can be said, and we have been discussing that, with football. Marcus Freeman, Jawan Sider continue to go out on that road and load up the 2026 class. Now, there's some noise being made with the 27 class, and we'll start to talk about that in the coming days and weeks. But while Notre Dame has gone out in what now stands, according to 247 Sports, as the number 2 recruiting class in America, Notre Dame looking to add to that, and we will have an answer on one of the players I'm going to discuss momentarily this coming week. But this is a class that already includes Noah Grubbs, good quarterback, Thomas Davis Jr., a stud linebacker, along with Jacoby Clapper, who we were introduced to last week. Javian Osborne is one of those speed and power combo backs that Notre Dame has already brought in for the 2026 class. And you would think with as good as this running back room already is, and who you will have down the road, the likes of Jabron Payne, Jadarian Price. We'll see what happens long-term with Jeremiah Love as far as his pro endeavors are concerned, because he's absolutely a Heisman contender this year. But now, word has it out that Jonas Walton out of Carrollton, Georgia, a 4-star power back, is very much in the mix to be added to this 2026 Notre Dame recruiting class, which would be magnificent. The job that Notre Dame continues to do on the road, led by Sider and Freeman, cannot be understated. This is why Notre Dame is where it is. You can say what you want about the portal, and obviously Notre Dame is active in it as they should be. But you build a roster based on how you recruit. And while you have a guy already in the class in Javian Osborne, who offers different skill sets, many of which I touched on the other day, if you're able to go get a guy like Walton, who's going to make his official announcement Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, this would be one of those gets that continues to just take an area on the depth chart, specifically now running back, and build it up, which is Notre Dame's bread and butter. Offensive line, run the ball, don't turn it over. You can do that. Look what happened last year, even with all those injuries. Notre Dame gets to a national title game, comes up just short. The writing is on the wall for what this program wants to do, and getting a kid with the skill set of a Walton to further update that recruiting and that backfield area is going to be absolutely outstanding. And we'll wrap up today's show with a little more lacrosse. Obviously, the Irish getting ready for game one of the NCAA tournament against Ohio State, but it's Ben Ramsey, Jake Taylor, Chris Kavanaugh finding their way into the selection pool in the 2025 Premier Lacrosse League draft earlier this week. Taylor is one of the best finishers in the college game right now. And you know all three of these guys hope their careers continue as Notre Dame goes for its third consecutive national title. Got to beat the Buckeyes on Sunday in Columbus first. But obviously they're thinking big picture here. But once their college careers do come to an end, CK, Taylor, and Ramsey will be playing professional lacrosse in the PLL. Taylor, 125 goals, has him fifth all-time in Notre Dame men's lacrosse history. And what more can you say about CK? Mentioned on the last show, already nominated as a finalist for the Tuerton Award, given annually to the best men and women lacrosse player in the country. He will not only go down as one of the premier players from the attack position, he's going to go down as one of the best players in the history of Notre Dame lacrosse. So a big congratulations to three members of the lacrosse program who, quite honestly, took the program from being a really strong program, great, to being fantastic, and probably, as of now, the two-time defending champions, the best program in the country. We'll put a bow on this one for now, folks. It's always great being joined by you. I appreciate helping us get off the ground and running here on Notre Dame Daily. You can hit that subscribe button right here, and you can follow Fan Arch across all social platforms as well. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. We'll get an update on how this lacrosse matchup went, how baseball continues to go, and we'll chat about everything on the next episode of Notre Dame Daily. Have a great day, and as always, go Irish.